Hey guys, so now we're going to be starting with a canvas. So, what is the canvas? Canvas is basically the workspace where you customize your content. First of all, we're going to be starting with the settings of the canvas. The first option available to you in the canvas pattern is the mouse, which is basically used to resize and reposition that I'll show you in a minute. The second one is basically the hand mouse, which you can customize your canvas in general with. On the canvas, you can actually customize your zoom in and zoom out panel, how much you want it to be zoomed in or zoomed out, or you can use the scroll key on your mouse. Project settings are basically widescreen. Widescreen is usually 16.9 and it goes downwards, and how you want your canvas to be customized. Nowadays, what I would like to ask you guys is to choose this one, the first one available to you, because this is the best one available, and it refines in the end the best quality screen. If you want your video to be different and you want to customize your canvas setting yourself, you can customize the width and the height of it itself, but remember the proportions of your canvas so your canvas don't turn out to be looking weird in the end. You can change the color of your canvas. I usually choose it to be black. To bring your canvas back to where it fits, click Fit. On the canvas area, you can resize, reposition, and arrange your content. Keep in mind, everything you upload on the canvas will be produced in the final video. So this is all for the canvas. Now we're going to be moving on to the timeline. Hi guys, so now we're going to be moving on to the timeline. Each timeline track is a layer where the media can be dragged and positioned freely. To add a track, you can simply click Add, or you can place your media and it will simply appear. For example, if I import this media and I add it on my first track and I want to import something top of it, I import my second media and the track is simply appeared. Like, for example, the track 4 simply appeared. Keep in mind, the top track is the one visible the most and the bottom track is completely hidden. So if you place anything on the top of something other, then it will be completely hidden. The bottom track will be completely hidden by the media on top of it. You can increase the height of the tracks or adjust it manually by clicking and dragging up manually, or you can do it by this small option available to you where it will help you to do it yourself. Click on the track and simply drag it up or down to make it big or small. They're small, as you guys can see that there are two options available to you, the eye and the lock. They both basically represent, the eye is not basically the disable track. If you click on it, it will disable your track. That means it won't show anything that is happening on this track. For example, you want to review your top media, but you don't want it to review your bottom one. It is already hidden, but you don't want it to show it anyways. You just want to see your top one. You click on enable. You click eye available to you. If you click on it, then your media will be available. The lock is basically telling your media to be locked and not be edited with the first media. For example, if I wanted to edit this media and I don't want to edit this one, I want it to stay exactly the same way, I'll click on the lock icon and I'll move my playhead and edit, which will be going in depth later where I'll show you how to edit your audios. And as you guys can see, there's a small option available to you that shows that your video has been edited from this part but not from the bottom part, because we secured this layer. On top of your timeline, there's a small option available to you, small box option available to you. That is basically, if you click on media, which you can help your media to split, to cut, to split, to remove your media, to paste your media again, or many other options that are available here, which I'll take you in depth later, but I'll give you a small example on them. But make sure the right media is selected. Example, if I want to edit my first media, I'll click on my first media on my first track. If I want to edit my second media, I'll add it on my second media, on my second track. For example, I want to cut something. Now it will simply cut and remove the whole media because I haven't selected one thing yet. If I want to select something from the middle and I don't want my whole media to be deleted, I click on this small green panel and move it to my right or my left to cut that part. Ta-da! That's how you do it. And if you want to split your media into two parts so you can resize and arrange them later, you can do it also on your timeline by taking your playhead to place you want to split your media from and click on split. That's how your media is divided into two different parts. If you want to stitch it, you can click left and click on stitch media, and your media is stitched. Now it's one piece. Remember, media from the same parts can be stitched together, not media from two different parts. You can copy, paste, go backwards, front, undo, whatever. This is undo, and go in the front if you undid by mistake. So this is what the timeline is. While I didn't go in depth with editing your audio and small options available to you right now, because in the moving lessons we'll learn how to actually edit your audio, in which I'll teach you the concepts of editing. So right now I just told you the basic structure of the timeline. This is all. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're going to be starting with the media bin. I will not be going in depth with the media bin at all because there's a different series that I made whole for media bin, where I'll be going in depth with the annotation, transitions, behavior, animation, cursor effect, and many more other stuff, in which I'll take you in depth with every single property, every single thing that media bin provides you with. So I'll be taking you in depth with all the different types of features available in the media bin later on in the series, where we're gonna be starting with the editing. This is all for the media bin, and we'll move on to last part of the series, that is properties. Then we're gonna be starting with our recording. So this is all. See you in the properties lesson. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome back. So now we are on the last lesson of this series, that are properties. So what are properties? Well, in the properties panel you can you can fine tune media, you can increase or decrease the opacity options, and many more other stuff that I'll be teaching you throughout this course. So if I import this media and I took it to my timeline, as you guys can see that there's a box that got available. There are different types of options available to you, which are scale, that basically represent the size of this media on your canvas. If I wanted to decrease it, I can decrease it. If I want to increase it, I can increase it to the specific part. Well, I'll take it to the place where it was. Secondly is the opacity, how bright or how light or how visible I want my media to be shown. And I can adjust this. Rotation, you can either choose rotation by the number selected, or you can use it through this mask, how you want your media to be selected. There are different types of rotation, the Z, Y, and X. Hopefully everybody knows what they are. Okay, so those are different types of rotation: X rotation, Y rotation, and Z rotation, which will help you, Z axis rotation, which will help you to rotate your media through what you want, through what position you want it to be rotated. And at last, what is available to us is the position which you can position your media on the canvas from. You can zoom in and out your media. There's also the part of the scale. As you guys can see, the number over there will move when I decrease or increase my media. I can reset it and make it fine adjusted. I can apply different type of properties on different types of things. For example, if I applied an annotation, I'll have different types of properties for the callout. If I want it to be something like this, and gradient opacity something around here. I want it to be the borders something like this. I want the borders to be red as well. I want the thickness of the borders to be actually really light, and opacity of them around here. Alright, and I can adjust the size of the text, different types of text. Imagine if I write hey, and I can adjust the different types, the different fonts, the size. I can also adjust size through this, to the numbers. I can use underline. I have to select this to underline, cut, and there are different types of properties available, which I'll take you in depth when we are going in media bin. So properties basically where you can fine tune your media, do your opacity things, and you can adjust different types of media, and you can help your media to look better in different way. So this is all for the properties, and now we're going to be moving on to our second series where we will learn how to start the recording. Bye for now. Okay, so now I'll be discussing the 4 things that you can record with Camtasia 9. First of all is recording your screen. So what is recording your screen? Basically, it captures all the motions that are happening on your screen, and it also records your audio with it. So basically, it's like 2 in 1. It's basically recording your audio and your screen at the same time. Second is system audio. There's also an option available to you that is system audio, where you can only record what's happening on your screen. You want to capture some moments on your screen, but you don't want your voice to be recorded. That's system audio. That is called system audio. Third is webcam. You can use webcam in Camtasia 9. Webcam is basically recording yourself while teaching or whatever you're doing. Fourth is your audio. That is basically just recording what you're speaking through your microphone. So those are 4 different types of recording features available in Camtasia 9. First is record your screen, system audio, webcam, and your audio. So that's all for what you can record in Camtasia 9. This is all for this lesson. Bye for now. Hi guys, welcome back to Camtasia 9 Mastery Course. I'm your instructor Faisal Faisal. Today we will be learning the basics of recording your audio. Before we start, keep in mind creating a high quality video is all about the prep work. To have the best results in the end, make sure you have a well-written script so you know what you have to say and when you have to say it. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now you guys know the structure of Camtasia 9. Moving on, how to start recording your screen. To start a recording, click the record button at the top of your tool panel. This opens the Camtasia's recorder, which by default is set to capture everything that happens on your screen. I will be giving a short example on that. As you guys can see right now, I'm in Camtasia's 9 editor. After clicking the record button, by default the recording is set to capture everything that happens on screen. To customize the capture screen, choose the custom button to change the recording area, the camera button, and the audio button to choose what you want to record. Keep in mind that you cannot customize your screen or audio during a recording. When you're done recording and you're satisfied with the result, you can stop it and save it. But what if you're not satisfied with your recording? You can always click the delete button and start your recording again. But don't worry, in the coming lesson, I'll teach you how to import your media in Camtasia 9 and give your audio a bit makeover. So in the coming lesson, I'll teach you how to edit your audio. Bye for now, see you in the next lesson. Hi guys, welcome back to editing your audio. First we'll learn how to import your media. To import a video, click on Import Media or on the small plus button on the bottom of the tool panel. After you import your video, it appears in the tool panel. Then you drag your video to the timeline, it automatically appears on the canvas. This allows you to preview your recording. Sometimes after your recording is done, the media automatically appears on the tool panel, the canvas, and the timeline. So on the timeline, the top track is microphone audio and the bottom is a screen video. To preview your audio or recording, click the play button. To delete a part of the video, drag in. This is called trimming. If you want your video to be back, drag your playhead backward. Keep in mind, trimming is cropping the video or media, not actually deleting it. If you want to trim multiple clips at one time, hold Shift. If you want to delete a part in the middle, click on the green or red bar available on the playhead and drag to where and what you want to delete. Then click on the scissor icon or Ctrl X to delete. To get your playhead back in one position, double-click on the playhead. It's good to note that any edit you make on the timeline will not affect your original recording in the media bin. To split your media, place your playhead on the media where you want to split and click the split button or S on your keyboard. If you want to add something in the middle of the media, hold Shift and drag your clip to the right. To stitch two clips together, hold Shift and select both of the clips. Then click left and click the Stitch Media button. By stitching, the media is combined as one, so they can be edited and moved as one. It's important to know that clips from the same piece of media can only be stitched together. So this is all for editing your audio. I'm your instructor, Faiz FSO, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now. Hey guys, welcome back. In this series, I'm going to be taking you in depth with each and every single features that Camtasia provides you. So starting off with, what are annotations? Well, annotation is used for titles and callouts. To simply apply an annotation, click and drag to either the canvas or the timeline. As you guys can see that there's different types of annotations available to you. The first one is callouts. Callouts are basically titles written inside a shape. And as you guys can see that there's one option available to you that's basically telling you what type of style you want your callouts to be. It can be either all, like you want all of them to be there, abstract, basic, bold, and there's many more options that you guys can go and research on your own. The second one available to you is arrows and lines. Arrows and lines are basically used to drag one's attention to a certain place. They are really easy to apply. You just simply click and drag them to your canvas. You can rearrange them by clicking and dragging forwards and backwards to make them bigger or smaller. The third one available to you are shapes. There are different types of shapes available to you that you can use. The fourth one that I found the most useful one are blur and highlights. They are seriously lifesavers. The first one available to you are blur. That's basically when you want to blur something up and you made a mistake in your presentation and you want to blur it up and you don't want your student to look at it, you use that that's where you use the blur option for. The second one available to you is the spotlight. After you apply the spotlight, it basically blurs everything around it and brings the spotlight on a certain place which you want your student to actually concentrate. Then it is highlight. Highlight is basically when you are making a presentation on a PowerPoint and you bring it back in Camtasia and you want to highlight something that you're talking about. So simple, all you do is click and drag it to a certain place, arrange it, reposition it, resize it, and you have a complete highlight to make your student focus on that point. The fourth option available to you is interactive hotspot. That's basically when you want your student to click on a certain link or a certain URL that you want your students to go to after they're done listening to this lesson, or you would just want them to go in the beginning. It depends on what type of a video you're making. So that's basically what that is used for. The fourth one that I found the most interesting one is the pixelate one. What it does is simply it pixelates the thing that you don't want to show on your canvas, but you can't remove it. Like, it's there because you made that mistake while recording your by mistake recorded that part that you don't want your students to see. Sometimes, like when you're making a video about your email or something and you don't want your privacy to be invaded and you want to hide your privacy, that's when I use those pixelates for. They seriously pixelate the screen from just a certain place that you'd want your students not to see that place. It works beautifully and it leaves the whole canvas the way it is. So those are really easy to apply, and I found them really useful most of the time when I make some type of a mistake or I want my students to get on a position that I want them to look at. The fifth one that I found the most interesting one, and I think I used it the most throughout this Camtasia series, are sketch motions. Sketch motions are basically drawing motions of a certain shape that you want to draw on. I usually use this for is basically when I'm trying to explain something and I want my students to focus on the position, so I make that box around it, and the way it appears draws a complete attention to the students. You can customize the color, the shape, the thickness, everything in the properties panel. The last one that are available to you are keystroke callouts. Keystroke callouts are basically Control-Delete, Control-Alt that you are not able to type on your callouts. You can just simply drag and position them on your canvas, and you simply click Alt. The Alt will appear. You simply click Control, the Control will appear on the box that are given to you. They are really easy to use. You can customize your shape, size, and typing inside the properties panel. One thing I forgot to mention early was that in callouts, arrows, and shapes, you can customize its text, color, and everything else in the properties panel. So this is all for annotations. In the next lesson, we'll be moving on to transitions, and we'll be going in depth with transitions. Hey guys, so we're gonna be moving on to transitions. So what are transitions? Transitions are used to improve the flow of your video. Well, transitions can be applied in the beginning, in between two of the videos, or in the end. To apply transitions, click and drag to a certain place. This is how your video will look like without a transition. Well, with a transition, it will look something like this. To increase the time duration of an annotation, click and drag to either forward or backwards to increase or decrease your timing. There are different types of transitions available to you, like fade, movement, and objects, etc. You can apply any one of them depending on what type of video you're making. Some of them could be really harsh on the student's eyes, while some of them could actually increase the flow of your video. So this is all for transitions. Moving on to behaviors. Moving on to behaviors. What are behaviors? Well, behaviors are used to engage our audience with catching animation. To apply a behavior, click and drag it to your video. To change its property, how it's gonna look like, when it's coming, when it's staying, and when it's out of your video. So this is how our behavior looks like right now. This is what it looked like before. To remove, just click on the cross button. This is how it looked like before. After applying it, this is how it looked like. Behaviors can either be applied on the video and also on annotations. This is how an annotation looks like right now. Like this. See, this is how it appears. But after applying a behavior, this is how it appeared. It created that smooth featured that didn't distracted our audience eyes, neither did it distracted the teacher, but it also dragged our attention. You can customize the settings in the properties panel, like style, movement, direction, and speed. To remove it, just simply click on the cross button and it's removed. There are different types of behavior available to you. They all are used to catch the attention of your audience. You can simply try all of them at home. So this is what behaviors are. Moving on to animation. Hey guys, so we're gonna be moving on to animations. So as you guys can see that there are two options available to you, zoom in panel and animation. What's the difference between both of them? Well, zoom in panel is done manually, where you can arrange, resize, reposition on your own, while animations are already done for you. All you have to do is click and drag them to your timeline and they're applied. To apply a zoom in pan, you simply click and drag it to where you want it to be applied. Like I wanted to zoom in somewhere around here, like this. So when I click to play, I zoom in and I want my animation to start from somewhere around here and stay till somewhere around here, like this. So when I play it, it's something like this. Cool, huh? Alright, so what's the next option available to us? It's scale to fit. Scale to fit is basically when you zoom in to a certain place, but you realize you don't want it there anymore. So you scale to fit, and this is how it's gonna do. see, it didn't affect it at all. So it didn't affect your screen at all. So it's basically fit to your screen where you want your student to focus on. Actual size is basically when you want to cut something. I want to put it somewhere around here, and I want my screen to be like this. I clicked on actual size, like this, and I let it to be there. Okay. Even though I'm not applying them right now perfectly, you can take your time to apply it the way you want it to be applied. Where you want to zoom in perfectly and zoom out perfectly. Fit to canvas. Alright. Animations. Moving on to animations. See. To apply an animation, click and drag it to the timeline. I want it to be applied somewhere around here. Okay? So I want it to tilt to the left. And here it goes. How about I want to apply this one as well, and I want it to happen. I want to increase the time. This is how I click and drag and my time is increased. You saw what just happened? Yep. That's how you apply an animation. There are a lot of different types available to you. Even though they're really hard to use, sometimes they can confuse you up and they're really hard to use. So what I'll advise you guys is to take your time to sit down and practice them over and over again. Of course, you won't get it on your first try, but maybe on the second try, you will improve. The third time, maybe you'll get it. So sit down and practice a bit more to actually get a hang of them. So this is all for animations. Hey guys, now we're gonna be moving on to audio effects. So what are audio effects? Well, audio effects are used to make your audio better. There are a lot of different types of audio effects available to you, which you can use in different types, in different way to make your audio a bit more clear to your students, a bit more clear than usual. The first one available to you is voice removal. Voice removal is basic when you're speaking through a speaker and suddenly there's some weird noises coming from your background. It helps you to remove that type of voices, like your breathing voice, because you don't want your student to listen to you breathe when you're teaching, right? It kind of annoys the student, right? The next one is voice leveling. Basically, when you're recording, sometimes what happens is like suddenly you say a word that is louder than the other word when you're normally speaking, because that usually happens, right? So this is what it is used for. Fading in, I usually use it when I'm applying a music in my video. So basically it lower your voice in the beginning and it increases when it goes along the way. So it goes like slightly low, then high, and then normal. Fading out is when you usually see those fancy videos where the music slightly fades out quietly, naturally, so it will make your video not suddenly just stop. It just slightly fades away in a very natural way. Clip speed. Clip speed is basically when you want your video to speed a bit more faster, like there's slow motion available to you and fast motion. Like I'll move here. As you guys can see right now, my video is for 1 minute 20 seconds. I want it to go in slow motion, so I'll make it around here. So I made it 1 minute 33 seconds, so now my video will go slower, really slow. Okay, if I wanted to go faster, I'll make it faster. Easy, I'll make it 40 seconds. But remember, doing this to an audio, it affects your audio. It affects your sound quality. I usually before applying this to my video or my audio, I usually like to separate my audio and I usually like to separate my audio with my video. So I click left, and here it is, separate the audio with video. I click this, and as you guys can see, my video and my audio are two different now. So if I go to video and apply speed click, and I made it small, my audio will stay the exact same, but my video will get faster. So this is what audio effects are. To make a smooth audio video, I usually use this a lot, and it helps me a lot. I think this is one of the most beneficial things available in Camtasia 9. And now moving on to cursor effects. Cursor effects are really simple. As you guys can see, there are 3 options available to you. One is cursor effect, left click, and right click. In cursor effect, it's basically your whole mouse indicating in one position. And the left click and the right click is basically when you click right and you click left and you want your video to actually focus on that position. All you have to do to apply them is to click and drag to the position where you want your cursor effect to be available. Personally, I think those cursor effects are not beneficial at all. If you're a teacher who's trying to teach like me, using those type of cursor effect can be really annoying for the students watching. Seeing a green light next to your mouse, even though you think it drags attention of the students, I personally think that it's not that beneficial to use such things. But it's all up to you. If you want to use it, Camtasia provides it to you. I will also be covering voice narration in this video. As you guys can see from the title, it's called voice narration. Basically, it is used to record your voice. When you click on voice narration in your tool panel, you can see that there's some option available to you. On the top, there's the box available to you that basically tell you from where your voice is being recording from. There's a small arrow available to you that you can use to customize where you want your voice to be recorded from. On the bottom, there's a small box available to you that basically tells you how high or how low your voice is. There's also a voice panel available to you which is used to customize your voice setting. Then there's menu timeline during recording. If you click that button, it shows that none of the computer voices will be recorded except the voice that is coming from your microphone. If you didn't click that, your computer voice will be recorded and it gets annoying. In the bottom, there's a box available to you that is paste or type script. Basically, it is used to type your script, so when you're recording your voice, you don't mess up or miss any line while speaking. And it also helps you to not have those bunch of papers around you when you're recording your voice narrations. It's just right there on your computer. It's that easy. And then there's this red button available to you that basically says start voice recording. When you click that, your voice will start recording. You can now customize your volume or where you want your voice to be recorded from during a recording. So before clicking the red button, make sure that you have everything well written so you won't make a lot of mistakes. So this is all for animation, cursor effect, and voice narration. In the next video, we'll move on to video effects, virtual effects, and many other stuff. See you in the next video. Bye for now. Hi guys, so now we're going to be moving on to interactivity. Interactivity is basically in the media bin, but if you don't find it in your options, click on more and you will have it. Interactivity is basically used to add a quiz in your video, like a pop-up quiz, or it could be anything you want it to be, but it's usually a pop-up quiz. I want my quiz to be added here. You can either take your space bar, take it to a position where you want your quiz to be added, and click on Add Quiz, or when you select Interactivity, there will be a plus sign next to your mouse. You can simply click it and your quiz will be attached. So you can change the properties in the properties panel, like what type of quiz you want it to be. You want it to be a multiple choice, fill in the blanks, short answer, or true and false. I'll go for multiple choices, multiple choices. My question is, what is new in camtasia 9? Annotation. And the correct answer is the behaviors. And animation. That's all the answer. The right answer is, what is new in Camtasia? The animation process, right? So display feedback, I can, if correct. Okay, so to review your quiz, you click on the small option available to you, and here it appears. Here it comes. So if I choose behavior and I submit my answer was wrong because I made it and I animated it to make it long, because animation was the right answer. To click continue, and I click animation, for example, so my answer is correct. If you click continue, it's gonna repeat. Anyways, just remember, when you're uploading this file or exporting it into a smart object, remember to choose the option for the best quiz, so the quiz will be available. So now we're going to be moving on to captions. As I said before, if you don't see the option of caption, go in more and the caption option will be available to you. First, you need to take your space bar to a position where you want to enter your caption. Imagine I want it to be entered here, and I add captions. I wrote what I want to be written. I wrote my captions. Duration 4 seconds. Play. I can detect okay. So this is how you add captions. Let's review it. And there you have it. Your captions are there. But remember to enter your captions on the right position where you're speaking what you're speaking. Otherwise, it will be hard for the students to actually understand what you're trying to say. So this is all for the tool panel. We are done with tool panel. Now we're going to be moving on to our next series. Hey guys, welcome back. So now we're going to be moving on to visual effects. Visual effects are used to add effects like remove a color, for example green screen, drop shadow, and clip speed, etc. So there are things available to you that you can use. The first one is to drop a shadow to your image or your video. The second one is to apply borders. You can define the thickness in the properties panel. You can colorize your image. Like, I want it to be green. Oh, it works. Let's make the amount here. So you can colorize it. Color adjustments. You can remove a color. Well, I can't apply it right now because I don't have a specific position where I want to remove my color from. It is usually used when you want to remove a green screen or you want to remove your background where you're standing in. You can speed it. You can either increase your speed, make it slower, decrease it, make it faster. And the last one available to you is interactive hotspot. Interactive hotspot is basically used for a URL when you want your student to click on, when you want your video to show in a URL where your students can click and directly enter to that page or your website or either a video. So you can enter your URL here. You can customize a setting. Basically, I haven't entered my URL yet, so it's not gonna show. Hey guys, welcome back. So in this last series of this course, I'll teach you how to upload, share your videos in different ways. First, as you guys can see on top bar where you can see file, edit, modify, view, there's an option available to you that says share. As you're gonna click on it, you're gonna see different types of ways you can share. For example, local file is basically uploading your video inside your desktop. If I choose local file, this is how it's gonna upload. First, I have to choose the custom size and what I want it to be uploaded in. I'm gonna upload it in MP4, and it is the best option that I use for. It gives the video a very good quality. Next, you name your project. For example, camtasia 9. Then you choose the file. Then you choose either you want it to organize it in a different folder or you want it to stay in the same place. I usually don't like to do that because then Camtasia creates a lot of different folders for videos and it gets annoying. As you're gonna click finish, the video is gonna start recording. There's different types of ways which you can upload your videos. I am perfectly sure that in all the different areas, the videos is actually compiled in the same way as it is in a local file, but in the end it goes, for example, if you do it for YouTube, it goes directly to YouTube and stop publishing there. If you have any confusion or anything, you are most likely to ask me in the question bar due to this topic. Sharing and compiling could be a very hard thing. Compiling takes some long time due to the fact if you have so much work going on in your track places, it takes a bit longer to compile than it does usually in one video. Be patient, your video in the end is gonna come out really good if you choose the high quality type of video. And this is gonna be all for this lesson.